Good morning, Hobby Hotline family. We got the Hobby Hotline assemble here. We got the great group here today. Uh, I'm your pal Val. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, PSA Hall and White Castle Hall of Famer Logan. We have Brody TK, the up and coming of the hobby, and then you have the Henry Ford of the hobby, Dr. Beckett.
That'll be okay.
So, hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. The chat line is available. Please join us. If you want to come on, you have to come on by video, you can come on by audio, or if you have questions, please use the chat. Let me get the link here. Had some technical difficulties this morning. Tracy is going to join us as soon as he can. He's having some technical issues as well, so I guess it's going around this morning.
Is sports ball Danny?
Danny.
In case it is, hey Danny, how you doing?
So he's at the Philly show. Yep.
And
then oh man. Of course, Michael's on Runyon from the Nuts Group. Great to see him. And I can't say if that's Rippin and something Rongo. I got to work on my stuff here. So, but yeah, so Danny says that's him. Welcome, Danny. Well, guys, while we're getting folks settled here in the chat, I don't know if you guys have been catching baseball. Baseball, I think, is winding down for the season. We got some really cool milestones happening. We have some chases happening. So last night, Pujols with 699 and 700. They said that was the first time that was done. Of course, there's only 3 other people who have done it. So that was pretty cool. I'm sure that his cards are now, starting to become very desirable again with, in the news. So I don't know what you guys think about that. Of course, I don't have any Pujols rookies. I should have probably bought them one a few years ago.
It's pretty awesome. That's for sure. He's a legend of baseball now. Well, he would have been even if he's stuck at 699. But he's such a great guy, and it's crazy the run he put on at the end of the season to try to get 700 without sticking at 694 and having to play 20 games next year. It was crazy the run he went on. Had, like yesterday you said, he had 2 homers. There were multiple games down this last month and a half, 2 months where he did that and got close to his goal, and it's pretty awesome that he got to 700.
Yeah.
I speak for the dollar box people, and that is that 1%, less than 1% of Pujols cards are rookie cards. Less than 10% of them are worth more than $10. The other 90%, the other 99% are selling really well as well. A lot more interest in all of Pujols stuff because he's worthy of collecting. He's one of the all-time greats. As I agree with you, Brody. If he'd been stuck on 699, no shame in that. But he really went after it this last month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Time left too, because Cardinals are going to be a playoff team. I don't think they've clinched yet, but they're pretty close. So who knows? He might be able to go after Babe Ruth because I think Babe had 714. I think
714.
So he should get pretty close at least. So
postseason doesn't count.
Right. Yeah.
So Babe Ruth, it's actually more than 714 if you count the World Series too. But
yeah,
with the playoffs now, there's a lot of postseason play in baseball that wasn't there when Babe Ruth was around. So
right. Yeah.
But at any rate, it's a great accomplishment. Great accomplishment.
So what about the fellow that caught the 700 home run ball?
Now, quoting, I guess the Sports Center this morning when I was on, or when it was on, I was watching. They mentioned something about wanting $3 million for the ball, and they had like 10 of the security guards help them exit the stadium. So I guess so much for the meet the player, get a jersey, and a signed bat. So.
Well, he did not go to the correct school of negotiation. You can't. Whoever speaks first in the negotiation usually loses. So he's losing in the court of public opinion. He should have just kept his mouth shut and said, I'm a collector. I really love this. It'd take a lot to pry this away from me. It's going to go on my mantle. Overwhelm me with an offer. And if Pujols says, well, I'll give you a bat, I'll give you a jersey, I'll give you a ball. Well, keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I guess Dr. Beckett needs to be a consultant there for
be the intermediary. Yeah,
exactly. So of course, like you were saying, Brody, even if he didn't get it, he was a future Hall of Famer. This is just, just a massive milestone. And they were talking about. It's funny how collectors are with the collecting. So they mentioned that he had 18 years of hitting over 20 home runs or more, which is, a long feat. And like you say, Dr. Beckett, in the dollar boxes and stuff like that, it's strange where, people are chasing these latest and hottest rookies. And now, you have this established Hall of Famer.
Well, they're chasing everything, but it's not going to be rookie cards in a dollar box, but they're going to be some decent cards in there. And all that stuff is selling, and some of my stuff. Just talking about the $3 million, it sounds ridiculous, but I'll bet that guy if his privacy has been breached and we know who he is, where he lives, Ken Golden will be at his doorstep, or
his door,
or Leland's, or any of those. Every one of them would like a piece of that action to help him or her. I guess it's a him. To transact the ball in a public auction or even a private sale.
It's like the college football recruiting. Everybody's trying to get to him.
He might get hounded. He really might get hounded.
I wish this happened towards the National, though, because it would be pretty awesome if one of the auction houses had it on display. That'd be pretty stinking cool.
So can we expect the same kind of thing if and when Aaron Judge hits number 62? I mean, I've heard estimates that ball may be worth anywhere from $500,000 to like 1.2 million is what some people are placing the value on that ball already.
Yeah, it's like the Brady ball. I mean, it's the ball of the moment, and things can be retracted, or if Judge keeps going, and he's hitting his prime.
Look, when you were talking about it, I was just thinking of the stadium, Yankee Stadium. There's nobody behind or on first base or third base. Everybody's in the outfield seats. People bringing fishing nets or whatever.
Yeah, kind of like they did when Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record. They did that down at Fulton County Stadium.
So
it went in the bullpen, didn't it?
I think it did.
I really hope it goes into the bullpen.
So can I get a ticket for the bullpen?
I hope he either goes in the bullpen, or I hope he stays at flat 60. Roger Maris keeps his record. Judge, you can have it in when you're really starting to get in his prime in 5 years.
Well, how many games have they got left? Like about a dozen or so?
They get 12 now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's they're talking about 12, and he should. I guess they're estimating him at 64. I don't know how you do all that, but that they mentioned the guy that I guess they're pitching against 9. He's hit 2 before. The next game, none, and then the next one 3. So
here's the other thing too. If I was pitching to Aaron Judge right now, I would be throwing curveballs and knuckleballs and knuckle curves and sliders all in the dirt. I mean, Judge is so big, just throw it in the dirt, let him take his walk. Hey, if he scores, good. But then he doesn't get his home run record, and you don't have to be the guy that gave up his second home run.
And you'd be out of baseball.
Yeah, you sure would.
They don't like that. That's somehow the union, the Players Association, or that would put a black mark on the pitcher that did that. That's considered not sporting, Brody. And I hear what you're saying. That the objective is supposed to be to win the game.
Just don't throw anything inside.
Well, that's it, right? Just don't throw anything they can hit.
That makes sense. But again, Brody, you pitch, right? Right. Because I mean, basically, you try to throw. If you try to throw an inside strike and it's just off a little bit, it's in the meat of the bat. Try to throw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have a caller here. I guess not technically a call, a video caller. Maybe how about that? So, low roller. How are you?
Low roller scratcher, baby. What's up, guys?
How are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. Just hanging out. It's about 12 a.m. on Sunday morning here in Korea. So,
Awesome.
So,
Oh, wow.
I'm drinking a beer right now. So,
You go right ahead. Well, that's awesome. I think that's the first time I had somebody come in from Korea. So,
yeah. So you guys, you're talking about the Pujols 700th home run. You're talking about the Aaron Judge, potential home run and whatnot. So I mean, put yourself into the shoes of the person that's catching these balls. How would you feel about it? I mean, me personally, I catch it. Yeah, I'm going to keep it and try to get what I can out of it. Because, I mean, I'm just an average Joe, right? I love the sport and all of that. But at the same time, it's like, this could be life-changing money for someone. So why wouldn't I try to get as much as I can for it? Because the thing is, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's always going to be someone getting something for it. So, that's kind of like the way I think about it. In that aspect of things. So what do you guys think about it?
I'd put it in a fireproof safe, keep it in there, and if your house burns down, well, hey, you could rebuild a new house.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, because you definitely, you look at it because, I mean, yeah, I would keep it. I'm not saying that I would get rid of it straight away. It's one of those things like I might hold on to it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of like that rainy day policy. You know what I'm saying? It's like something happens. I've got this right here that, can potentially help smooth things out. So that's kind of the way I look at it. I know a lot of people jump on everyone and say like, oh, they should give it back. They should do this. They should do that. But I don't know. I mean, if I were in their shoes, I wouldn't be giving it back. I mean, not initially. Kind of like Dr. James said, it's like, yeah, like listen to offers, listen to what they have to say, and things like that, and then maybe consider that, So that's sort of the way I am on those things.
Two things. One, very possibly not Pujols' last home run. Okay, that's one.
Right.
That would beg for maybe doing it sooner. And the second thing I would say, even though I'm a capitalist, I probably would sell for less to Pujols himself.
Of course, I can see
take
that.
this huge haircut, but if Pujols made a reasonable offer, and then I had a cash offer from somebody else for a little bit more, I'd want to give it to Pujols.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly.
Not give it, but transact it.
And I'm a Cardinals fan, so that's why I've got Cardinals stuff sitting all around. There's my favorite Pujols rookie right there. Actually, his Fleer tradition. So, but yeah, like I'm a Cardinals fan, but yeah, that's just the way I see things. And yeah, like I definitely think, like I always think that the player should get first crack at it. That's the way I always feel about it. And yeah, so but definitely you would kind of like you would want to consult people as well, like consult auction houses and stuff. I'm like, what do you think? What do you think it's going to bring? You know, if they say, oh, it's going to bring $1 million, right? Well, you know, if Albert comes up and says, like, all right, well, you know, I'll give you 500, would you take it? I mean, I would, but but that's just me. But you know, it's just one of those things. Like, okay, you're close enough in the ballpark there for me. So yeah.
Well, the other thing I would think about selling it sooner too is we've seen a lot of guys that have said they're going to retire, Tom Brady, and then come back on day of March Madness. Oh, surprise, I'm back. Maybe Pujols is like, all right, I'm going to wait it out. Game 1 of the World Series, big news. Albert Pujols is back. I don't care about the Dodgers winning this. I'm going to come back, and that's going to be big news. So maybe he's at 7. I mean, there's 11 games left. Maybe he gets to 704, 703, and then maybe he passes Babe Ruth, and maybe that ball is worth even more next year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think personally, I think definitely he would retire now at this point, right? Because he's, you know, he. The thing is, I think it would have been hard for him to retire. I mean, at least me, as if I were a player, it would be hard for me to retire if I'm sitting there thinking like, you know, like I'm at 698, 699, whatever. I got to get there, right?
You're missing the negotiation that Pujols can do with this guy. He says, "Look, if you don't give me the ball, I will not retire.
Right.
Making your ball worth less. So either get it to me for a reasonable price, or I'm going to keep going. And my 715 ball that I'm going to have in July of next year will be the big bucks, and your ball will be chopped liver."
And to be quite honest, I mean, if you're Pujols, I mean, what do you have to lose, right? But no.
Well, he'd be having a victory tour, even more so next year if he went around. He's loved and appreciated, and what he's done the last couple of months is amazing.
Definitely.
Keeps on hitting home runs until they land in the bullpen where you can get it back, and then that's going to be the last one.
Right, exactly. So, no, I mean, I'm just happy to see him do it. You know, it's something that we won't see for a long time ever again. I mean, there aren't many people that are even close. So, I mean, like, who are your closest people at this point? Like maybe Giancarlo Stanton and, you know, somebody like that, or maybe your closest people at this point that have maybe a bit of time left to get there, right? But outside of that, like, yeah. But,
the mind to me is Vlad Jr. And I know that's kind of a stretch, at least right now, but he just got his 100th and he's still 23. So that's one that I look at and say he's far away, but with the progress that he's on, it's very possible.
Yeah, no, definitely. If he can stay healthy like a lot of these guys, there's definitely, I mean, that would be a great story, you know, with Vlad Jr., you know, senior and junior, both of them Hall of Famers. That'd be a great story right there, you know. Something that we'd all like to see, most definitely. So, yeah. But like I said, so anyway, I just kind of wanted to call in and just ask what you guys thought about that and just see what you guys say. Like, how would you feel if you caught something or, you know, ended up with something monumental, such as something like that? What would you do? So,
well, you know, the positive karma part of myself thinks, hey, just give it to him. But then, you know, a ball of that significance is going to garner a lot of money, and it is life changing. You know, because I'm just a regular guy, and I would definitely sell it. You know, and I would probably do it like what Dr. Beckett says. You know, just kind of hang on to it for a little bit, wait for the offers, see what, you know, feel it out, and then, you know, probably go ahead and sell it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think so, because I mean, you could change your life as well as other people's lives in the process if you really think about it. It's like, it's not, you don't have to make it all about yourself at the end of the day.
No, it would really help my family. So
Right,
that would be a great thing.
So yeah. So it's pretty cool that the guy that caught it, like I saw the photo. There was like a screen grab of him like in the air, like holding it up or something, like as he was catching it. The funniest thing was the guy that was kind of back behind him that was giving him the stink eye. There was kind of this guy that was like looking down on him and looked like he was giving him the stink eye. I was appreciating that, because I'm like, that's me if I'm like sitting back there behind him. I'm like, look at this guy right here, you know.
Now
Why didn't I get that?
Now we're talking about the facial recognition software.
Exactly.
People want to complain about it. They can fight that guy.
They don't have to worry about it. I'm over here in Korea, so I'm not catching anything. I mean, but except a buzz at this point at midnight.
Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it very much.
All right, guys, take it easy.
You have a good night. Bye.
All right.
Good morning.
Hacklers in the house.
Yes.
Hey, Tracy.
Welcome, sir.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Tracy.
He's a media pro.
All right, now? Oh, you might have to call back in.
The other mute.
Yeah, another mute. But meanwhile, while Tracy's working on that, Drew's in the chat here. Drew, Baseball Hall of Fame autographs as well. Let's see. Michael Wernian had that kind of same sentiment. Oh, hey Tracy.
You got me now?
Yes, got you now.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. My I think Brody's bad Derek Carr jersey threw me off.
Oh, come on. You guys aren't feeling so hot yourself either.
It's just, man, I don't even know what to say. But otherwise, you look good, Brody. And Dr. Beckett, it is an honor to be on with you, as always. And then Val and Logan, of course.
Oh, yeah. We were just, well, I'm sure you heard, I don't know if I guess I'm assuming you heard about the Pujols ball and stuff. So I think a lot of people might have that same thing. It's like to me, it'd be I don't know, wouldn't make a rash decision, just kind of think it through. But I think time is probably more of the essence than waiting, unless you wait to, the Hall of Fame, but until, when he's done, and it'll be probably 700 is a nice round number. And then whatever the last one is. So whoever catches 701, I guess you throw it back. What?
Well, there's a policy, I think, in Major League Baseball and maybe all the sports. They don't pay cash for this stuff. They will trade you. They don't want to set a precedent. So I rarely hear about money, but you're going to overwhelm him with a bunch of stuff that they pull off the rack. And that means if the guy gives it to Pujols, now he's got some other personalized items that he can sell. You may want to keep those too, but he's not going to get an equivalent thing. He's not even probably even get equivalent value.
Yeah.
Even if Pujols says, I'll spend a day with you. Well, I mean, that's priceless, but it's not worth $3 million.
Yeah.
I'd go up to Pujols.
Tracy, how much would you spend for a day with John Elway?
Well, it wouldn't be $3 million.
Saying.
But yeah, like I'd like to think I would as a collector who's been smiled upon from up above to have the career I've had. If I caught that ball, I would probably give it to him and hope he'd give me an autographed bat or something. Cause I'm not so money motivated, and people are in different situations, but I'd like to do right by Pujols if I could, and maybe by the game, and not worry so much about what's in it for me,
Maybe
I say that now, yeah. but in the situation, what do I do?
Maybe, you say you want to be his guest at the Hall of Fame induction.
And that's easy for them to pull off.
But that's, a pretty amazing thing.
But what if you but Tracy could say, no, I don't want to be at the induction. I want to introduce you.
I want to be mentioned in your
And I
speech.
want you to get me autographs of every living Hall of Famer that's there. And
Well, I
he's
think
piling it on, but I don't need any money, Albert. I just
Yeah, no. And I want to be mentioned in your speech too, please.
yeah, thank you.
Tracy Hackler from Kentucky Roadshow, part of Dallas Roadshow.
He could say like, your work at Beckett back in the day inspired me to become a major league slugger.
And then I
Reading
saw
your-
autographs and your Panini products, and now I see you at Dallas Roadshow and people on Hobby Hotline. You're the best, man.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But it's so funny that happened so fast, as you all know. So Ryan and Justin Channels, you may or may not know those two, California staples. They're going to be running our California Roadshow when it opens here in the next 6 weeks or so. So they're real big autograph chasers and like home run ball chasers, and they're in the Bay Area. So when Pujols hit 699, the group text lit up with, "Oh, we've already bought tickets for the next game in LA. We're going to go down there." And then like 10 minutes later, he hit number 700. They're like, "Oh!" It was funny to see that go down in real time.
Hey, you just gotta hope that the game they go to, that's the last one he hits.
He said they already put the tickets back on SeatGeek or whatever. They were just. But I think
maybe he pulls a hammy or something after he hits 701, and then there you go.
How old is Pujols? I'm sure y'all said that, but is he like
42.
Oh, we did not mention that.
he was a rookie? What 2001, right? With
Yeah,
Ichiro.
he was rookie of the year in 2001.
He played here in Memphis in 2000, I believe.
There is some question about his age. But I think he's supposed to be 42 or something like that. But some of those guys are, he came up when he was a young man. He was pretty mature. He was pretty mature.
Oh yeah.
Well, you remember people used to always say that about Julio Franco when he was in Texas, that he was like 10 years older than his suggested
age.
And those conversations came back again when Pujols had kind of the drop off.
Okay, yeah.
Rejuvenation now is just saying, well, what happened?
It could be a resurgence of the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa era.
What if it was discovered that in July of this year he took some PEDs, which would then taint the last couple of months?
It certainly would.
And that would just be of a guy that really was a stud for so long.
Yep.
But if they found out that, hey, somebody gave me these shots or pills or whatever, and they said everything was fine, and all of a sudden I got the fountain of youth.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Terrible. I mean, it'd be terrible for the integrity of the game.
I do think the home run derby and winning a round, I think that might have boosted him a little bit. That was really awesome.
Have y'all talked about what, if anything, this does to his trading card values? I mean, he's already at that level where not much can vault it up.
Well, Dr. Beckett was talking about looking for stuff in the dollar boxes, and definitely, he's a future Hall of Famer, even if he didn't hit 700. But it's interesting how the collectors, I don't necessarily fall out of favor, but it's just so many new players coming up, and everybody's kind of chasing find the next Pujols that's a rookie, and they kind of forget about the older guys, the lifelong, great stats, because we were saying, I think it was 18 years of 20 or more home runs. And it's just out of sight, out of mind, I guess.
Yeah. But
this definitely helps, I would think. And another resurgence, maybe revisit and, going after, maybe you can't afford. I'm not familiar with the prices of the 2001 Pujols, but 2002 or 2003 somewhere you can get kind of closer. to the rookie year that's somewhat in your budget, right?
Yeah. He's probably pretty affordable across the board.
Most of my ComC cards are under $10, $5 or $10,
Yeah.
like that. Now, I've sold twice as many Pujols in the last month as I have that I would expect to. I mean, it's just it reaches all the way down. It's not just people going after the rookies. So
for sure,
it's healthy. That's good. That's good. If your roadshow, places, as you're expanding every month, Tracy, I think, but there has to be people that are coming in asking for Pujols, and if it could be rookie, second year, third year, 12th year, whatever, just interesting cards because they want to have some because he's in the news and he's
100%
worthy of collecting. He's worthy of collecting.
100%. You're exactly right, Dr. Beckett. We like the most frequented place in any of our shops are the bargain box tables, and we have like boxes with $1, $5, $10, and people, kids of all ages, families will come in and sit down for an hour, 2 hours, and just go through it, and they'll spend $30 on 10 cards or five cards, and it's cards like you're saying, Dr. B. Just people want a piece of their players, and that could be a rookie autograph RPA with 6 colors and whatever, or it could be a 10th year cool photo or cool insert.
Yeah. That's for now, though. I mean, in like 6 months, you guys are expand so much. You're gonna do a tweet to be like, "Oh, hey mates, we are opening the Australian Roadshow. Make sure to come check us out here in Australia."
Good night, mate. No, Jimmy does want to go international, but he hasn't mentioned Australia. So I want to get California open so we can have 4 shops and then worry about phase 2.
That's pretty awesome. Let's see. We've got a lot of stuff in the chat going on. Want to thank everybody that's if I haven't gotten to your comments, Kevin Jones and of course Drew. Soccer cards. Yeah. I wish everybody good morning.
I get to share a screen with Dr. Beckett. Are you kidding me?
We're on the same level, Tracy. We're on
No, sir.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Brad, Texas Card Dude.
Brad Bethune.
Yeah, I like what Brad said. He said any deal with Pujols would have to include a Hobby Hotline guest spot. So he would have to.
Would we charge him more than we charge Tracy? What's the valuation there?
I'm the only one that has to pay to be on this show.
Say it.
Val always sends me an invoice after I get off. It says, you owe us this much.
Promotional fee.
It's like NASCAR, we got to see how much airtime you get, and then they run through the calculation. It's like the old telephone bills, You
keep hoping I crash every episode, Val, so I get more airtime.
So are you NASCAR guys jealous of F1?
Maybe some of the publicity, but not the prices.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, I would like to see more of a bump in NASCAR, but NASCAR has seen a bump, so I'm grateful for that, and I'm good with it.
Well, I think like Logan can speak to this of the early, or I guess it's the late '80s when we had that whole boom. It's very reminiscent of what's happening now in F1. So F1 is starting to, I think, get to the saturation point where there's only a few products and more products are coming out. Everybody was diving in, everybody was discovering it, and now either the flippers or whatever, they're on to something else. And so it's tight to run that demand versus supply for this kind of stuff. So I think we've definitely seen the older F1 stuff, which is, I think, very scarce. So we're seeing some high dollar stuff on the older F1. We do on the NASCAR Radio King's Court, where we go over some of the eBay pricing or in Golden. And so we've seen some high dollar, some of the older stuff, which is definitely crazy scarce.
Yeah, but we are seeing a lot of the newer stuff prices coming down. and it's coming down
On the
significantly.
new F1 stuff?
Do what?
On the new F1 stuff, you're saying?
Yeah, on the new F1 stuff. And, we're
Mm-hmm.
kind of afraid that Topps may try to oversaturate the market because they're going to have a couple of new issues this year. One of them is like a stadium club. I think they're going to call it Paddock Pass. So they've got a couple of new issues coming out this next year, and they're still trying to get it from last year.
You mean to tell me that a card manufacturer will try to jump on a hot bandwagon and just overdo the crap out of it? Is that what you're telling me?
No, nobody would do that, Tracy. You know that.
Well, Tracy, actually, you could probably speak to this. So when they were looking at their numbers, I mean, when do they need to actually tell the printer how many they want to print? So I guess I'm saying
like volume for a specific product.
Yeah, so I know how long it takes. I know it takes 6 months for a release to get through, create the images, and do all that stuff. But then when you go to the printer, when is that time? Because they might want to increase the production or reduce the production depending on that. And of course, you're more the expert than I am. When do they make that decision?
I mean, it's pretty fluid, but like I think they have the liberty to add to it, but it all depends on, like, if you don't have enough material, ink, the type of stock you're looking for a particular product, you want to bump up quantity, you're going to have to print what you have, pack that, seal that, and then wait for more stuff to get in so you can continue printing and producing. But I would say a few weeks would be like the absolute latest in a normal product cycle.
Well, you're constrained by the pack odds too. You've already published.
Yeah, absolutely.
Companies are coming out. You have this much of these assets and materials that are in the product, and unless you're gonna print more, you need to have more of that stuff.
More stuff, exactly right. Yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is if you were going to do less, so say Topps they were getting ready to do this Paddock Pass, and F1 was red hot, and everybody was selling out, and then quickly things have been changing here. Now we have a downturn in the economy, rapid inflation, all this other stuff, and maybe those numbers might be too much, or maybe they don't care at all and they're just gonna go with it. I don't know.
No, that used to happen quite a bit actually, but back when things weren't as hot as they've been over the last 3 or 4 years. But that's usually when the collector won, because they would essentially keep all the same stuff but cut production. So that's where you got extra hits and extra autographs that were kind of unannounced sometimes, and that usually was a sure sign that they'd cut production down. But that hadn't happened. Obviously, it's gone the other way now, where the market. But people forget that there were many years not too long ago, 2011, 12, 13, 14, where things weren't moving. Like, it was bad, and there was a lot of dogs that that got slept on, that didn't sell. So. But the thing I was going to bring up about, and Dr. Beckett has seen this, we've all seen this, where when Panini did the first World Cup Prism product in 2014, I think, and it really was a different kind of product, autographs for one maybe every 2 or 3 boxes. And I thought that was a really good chance for them to kind of level set the market and not have to be so reliant upon autographs in other sports. But it went the other way. It didn't level set the market, and it also showed that the power of soccer. And so it within a year, we went from one traditional North American style trading card product to 6. It was Select and Donruss and Eminence, and it would just, in no time, it went from one product to 10. It seemed like.
Let's see. So they have one. I know we're talking a little bit of racing. So the soccer cards said they feel like Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt, I'm assuming seniors, and talked about Hamilton or Verstappen. So Hamilton and Verstappen, though, are current drivers, and while Petty and Earnhardt are legends, it's kind of one of those out of sight, out of mind until I think something happens in the media. To kind of, hey, oh yeah, remember those guys, kind of a thing, and I want to collect them or whatever. So I know we've talked about before, but there's, after all the years of my collecting experience, I find where there's a few bumps in collecting. One is when everybody discovers them or the media or they do something amazing like they're a rookie or whatever, and there's the chase for that. If they're breaking any kind of records, when they go and announce retirement or went during the retirement or Hall of Fame induction or whatever, and then unfortunately, after they pass, those are kind of the real big bumps that I've seen, in my opinion. Then it's all lulls between that. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
Well, I wonder how much it hurts Earnhardt's collectability that he hasn't had cards in forever. Like being out of, it's one thing to be out of sight, out of mind, like physically in the physical sense, but you're also, that's the big difference with Earnhardt and other legends, is that other legends are in products every year. And Earnhardt Sr., when's the last time he's been in a product?
That would be 2014.
Man.
The last time he was in a product, and his wife, she controls the license, and she's not letting it out anytime soon. Now, we did hear rumors at the National from Tim Trout that they are working on getting that license back. So, and he said that they were offering, what did he say, Babe Ruth money?
Babe Ruth image
money.
Money is what Tim said.
I believe it.
I think, Tracy, you're right, though. I think it's definitely hurting the brand just from being forgotten, unfortunately.
Because you think about what, like, and this might be a bad example in NASCAR, but a Color Blast Earnhardt Sr. or a Kaboom or one of out of 10 gold or something would be ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that there. When Jimmy Johnson was chasing 7, they did a commercial where I guess like somebody walking down pit road, and you had Petty in the old car and Earnhardt in his car, and then basically like with Jimmy Johnson trying to join those in the 7. It was really cool to see that image and stuff of Earnhardt. Logan, you were gonna say something? Sorry.
I honestly forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I was going to say you can't trust Tim Trout as far as you can throw him. So
I know.
I'm kidding.
Tim Trout also said that they already have cut autos and they've got fire suits and everything ready to go. So all they have to do is sign the contract, and it's going to be game on.
Yeah.
Yeah, National Treasures.
I believe it.
So I
can be able to do it.
The kid was going to have his own color blast for all products in Panini America. Heard that.
Can you imagine like what that would be, like NASCAR's version of like a Jordan color blast? It would be just ridiculous.
Sure would.
Now there would be like 20 of them within 6 months, 20 different color blast cards of Earnhardt, and then
there would be.
See, this is part of the PR problem of our industry. I mean, we need to be considered so that these the Earnhardt brand says I need to be aligned with that industry. That industry's on the uptick. Panini, Fanatics, all these different entities, all this money that's coming in. It's in the news. This is going to be positive for our brand to do that. Instead of it's not just a cash grab. It's basically it's making Dale Earnhardt be more relevant. Like Roberto Clemente, my favorite guy. I mean, he died in his prime. He's still out there, and very collectible. Well, Dale Earnhardt would be more collectible if there was more stuff out there, more good stuff.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's
hoping that's going to happen
now more than ever, too. Right? I mean, it's cool to have cards. Like cards are cool again, and
cards were fringe. And now they're moving toward mainstream. And mainstream, they need to be part of that.
Yeah, agree completely.
He does have, Dale Earnhardt Sr. does have Funko Pops. So they have licensed those.
Wow.
But not cards.
Recent ones, though? Like recently?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. I was surprised. I thought maybe that, the license was moving and that, they're starting to license more stuff, but haven't heard anything. When Tim talked about not having the Earnhardt license, but he had done Funko, so I'm not sure. So
maybe they paid more than Ruth money to get him for Funko. Who knows?
Well, that's true too, right?
That is true.
But Dr. Beckett's dead on though. If you use use the power of what the market is right now as what your biggest bargaining chip. It's not about money. It's yes, you're going to be rewarded handsomely for letting us use him, but you're also going to be in the mainstream, the public conscience for a long time. And that card would be, those cards would make such a big splash on the market.
They should be contacting you. You shouldn't have to be knocking on their door. They should be contacting you, say, we want to be part of this. And I think that's what Fanatics, the new big kid on the block, is thinking. They're going to increase their marketing spend, and they're going to make sure that the average sports fan out there is aware that collecting sports cards especially is a real thing, here to stay, hotter than ever, and opportunities for everybody to enjoy.
Yep, I agree completely.
You know, I kind of equate this a little bit to like Elvis. You know, back in the day, you know, Elvis, he almost went broke, right? But, you know, I live here in Memphis, and of course, Elvis is really big here. And now Elvis Presley Enterprises makes more money than they ever would have thought when Elvis was alive. You know, Priscilla has managed it well. She's managed the licensing well. And, you know, the Elvis name is just as popular now, if not more so, than it was back when he was alive, because, you know, we have Elvis Week here, all the things that go on here with Elvis. And I think Graceland is the most visited home in the United States. So, you know, that just goes to show you that if you keep your name out there, you're going to grow in popularity. And of course, with popularity, you're going to, you know, the money's going to come too.
Hey, Brody, TK, do you know Elvis? Do you know who we're talking about? Was it Elvis?
Yeah, I am very aware with Elvis.
He saw the movie. He saw the movie.
Oh, thank you very much.
I watched the movie, but of Elvis.
I'm kidding, Brody. I'm kidding, bro.
You like to make jokes, Tracy. I know.
Me? But
you're king of jokes. I call you the Dallas Road Show jokester. You should just travel all 4 shops and pop up and start making jokes.
Well, nobody would come to see that. That's for sure. So it'd be a short-lived business.
I think, I don't know, maybe.
Especially if you got the Australia shop going, you go down there. Oh, hey, mates, it's me, Tracy Hackletter from the America.
Oh, I'd kill it down under. I'd be huge.
So I don't know how you can manage. It was just switching gears real quick. In the comments there, Michael Runyon was talking about that. You know, like David Pearson isn't even spoken of, and you know he was a number 2 behind Richard Petty, and probably most people don't even know. So I don't know if it's the people they're managing the licenses, or that they're doing it themselves, or they don't have a marketing firm helping them. But
how old is Pearson?
Pearson has passed.
But when was he like relevant, like behind Petty? Like, was it real early, or?
It was up until late 70s, early 80s, I think, is when he retired.
Yep.
So you guys probably know better. Why is he not more talked about now?
I don't know if it's, Tracy, you know how NASCAR is. With NASCAR likes to promote whatever NASCAR likes to promote, and you have to pay to get into that promotion. So, unfortunately, I wish they would handle the legends better. We have the NASCAR Hall of Fame, but that's a whole nother mess too. But I don't know. I mean, he's 105 wins behind Petty's 200, and he was definitely known as a silver fox and pretty smart driver and very good driver.
When did he pass?
He passed
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit longer than that, but yeah.
So would you guys, the two NASCAR experts here, would y'all consider him like on that level, like as a collectible target, like a Petty or an Earnhardt or Jimmy Johnson even?
His personality, I think he's more of Steve McQueen who did the Bullet kind of that's Petty has his kind of image and brand, and I think Pearson is more of that real life type.
He was more laid back. He just didn't put himself in the limelight. All he wanted to do was go out there, win races, and make money for his family.
Oh man, I saw your comment, and now Brad.
Oh,
Well, somebody said jokes, so
All right, do I need to kick him off? We'll have to take a vote here. Or
writing that comment, man. Oh.
What do you say, Brody TK?
I just want to say good morning to everybody. That's all. I
Yeah,
don't know what you're talking about. Good morning, Dr. Beckett.
Hey, Brad.
Good morning, Mr. Hackler.
How you doing, Brad? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Good morning, Miss Brody. How are you doing, young lady?
Oh man.
Never mind. You guys should hire him as your jokester now.
Wait, I've already been replaced. I don't even have a job yet.
Well, we're waiting for the invoice to clear. Is what we're waiting for.
Yeah, Bob will send that before I'm off, probably.
I was just wanting to say good morning to everybody. Somebody said jokes, so I thought I wanted to hear Brody go, "Oh man!" So I've done my job for the day. Y'all have a fantastic day.
See you, Brad.
see,
that's
see
Thanksgiving,
Brad.
Mark.
Basketball.
Just real quick, finish up with Pearson. Michael Runyon, he's probably the biggest Pearson fan, but he says that he wasn't comfortable in the media, and that I'm gonna have to go with his stats here, but that he had less starts than Jeff Gordon, but had 105 wins. I think Gordon had 90 something, and I think he sums it up as that Pearson was a badass. So
He was a badass. There's no doubt.
yeah, I think there was the famous one where they were in Darlington, and it was Buddy Baker had told this story where he's fighting with the car and driving, and Pearson's next to him, and he looks over, and Pearson's just kind of smoking a cigarette and just kind of on the wheel. Back then they didn't have power steering or whatever, so it was just that's kind of the way Pearson was. So
it's a crazy sport, man. That's a crazy sport.
Especially the years and years ago, what it took for those guys to race. Now it's a little different, but yeah. I know we're getting close to time, but I'm sure everybody. I don't know if you want to switch gears. Also in the news is a
Is that a racing reference? You're switching gears?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna. I don't know if it's high gear or not, but the starting lineups. Have you guys seen those and the price tag? What you guys thought, or with the first wave for the NBA?
I'll start this just because
wrong one.
I collect wrestling figures a lot. Like that was one of my first things I collected, and those are like $15 or $20 at Target. So to see it at $50, I know you get the NFT. I know you get, but it just for me personally, I mean, they look cool, but $50, especially with how much cards are now, I don't. It's just not my cup of tea.
So does the NFT entice you at all? I'm
not an NFT guy really.
You get a physical card too with it, don't you? Or no?
I think so, yeah. Which is that's cool. I like that, but I'm just NFT's not really my thing.
The figures look a lot better. I think Dr. Beckett can certainly attest to.
Well, it looks like Luca lost weight.
Yes, that's true. But you remember the old SLUs?
Yeah.
Our good buddy Dell, Kenner Kid Carlson. They never look like the athletes.
No.
At least Ja looks like Ja.
Yeah.
And they would use like the same molds and like switch up the paint scheme. And Vance Johnson was also Shannon Sharp. It's like, wait a minute.
I mean that's true. There were some wrestlers where I was like, not them at all. Like, what are they doing here?
But I think to your point, Brody, like I completely understand like $15 for the WWE or AEW figures or whatever. But if you're looking at look at that. Is that Big Hurt? Who is that?
Oh, Jackson.
Oh, wow. That's a nice one. But if you're going to spend $50 today in the hobby shop, you're not going to get a whole lot. It doesn't go as far as it used to in the hobby shop.
Right.
It might be one pack. It might be half a box. It might be one cool card. Getting a figure and a physical card, and I don't care about NFTs, but seems like a pretty reasonable price.
Yeah, I think it's definitely reasonable, but I'm not the huge NFT guy, but I think the card's pretty cool, and the figures, looking them up close, they look pretty cool. So,
Well, maybe this was actually a pretty smart plan for giving away these NFTs to get people into that, right?
yeah,
To try to pursue that and try to expand that market as well.
true. Yeah,
Well,
I do agree with Brad. Maybe a little too high, but I think it's pretty reasonable. Like you said, Tracy, considering what packs and boxes and cards go for, I think it's reasonable for sure.
So my play is I'm a card guy. So I buy the figure, the card, and the NFT for $50. I sell the NFT for $25. I sell the figure for $25. I keep the card for free.
There you go.
You heard it here.
That's a great.
And the cards look cool too.
Yeah, the card actually does look pretty cool.
It's got a nice foil treatment to it. So Dr. Beckett's onto something and you never know how rare those are going to be or how many hit the market.
Those are 3 completely different types of collectors.
Mm-hmm.
There's
You're
a
right.
lot of people that are really enamored of NFTs. I'm not one of them. A lot of people like the figures. I'm not one of them. I love cards.
Yeah.
But if they're allocating or apportioning the value equally, I don't think the marketplace will. I think mainly people are buying the figures.
Yeah.
Because they're displayable.
And SLU is one of those like a long adored names. People just love it because it's from such an innocent time where, other than they don't look like the athletes they're supposed to, like SLU has a great name in the industry. And it's been gone for 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I think it was the early 2000s when it was.
That's pretty remarkable, actually.
Well,
that they still are.
Again, right? I think.
Yeah.
Now the folks are older and they're going to collect it, or they're going to introduce their kids to it, or whatever. So
I can't wait for the comparison posts of. Hopefully, there's a few legends that you can compare their original SLU with their current SLU.
Yeah, probably Bo Jackson. That would be a good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or LeBron, like before hair and after hair or whatever.
Yeah, I guess we're not going to do NASCAR right now since they don't have the license. Or maybe they do. I don't know.
So BV Cards, they're joining Hobby Hotline via the podcast. So I've seen that.
Pay no attention to those cards behind Dr. Beckett.
Those are nice cards.
Pay no attention.
Those are beautiful.
There's a hackler on there.
I was looking for
Gotta go to the H's.
It's going down in value as we speak.
My BTK card is at being graded.
Is it?
It can't go up until it gets graded.
Oh, okay.
I've got one. So we're at the National and Brody was signing his cards, and so his mom wanted to do a quick video of him signing. So I went up and it was so spur of the moment that I said, "Will you please sign this card?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Will you put to my hero?" And so he wrote "to my hero." It's pretty funny.
That was a good video.
That was fun.
It was a nice surprise.
Well, I know we're coming up on the time. I don't know if there's any other topics you guys want to touch on.
Hey, Brody, next week you're going down, bro. In Vegas, you're going down.
No. Mm-mm.
Don't wear that shirt anymore, please. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Who's going to Vegas? I'll see you there.
for
Yes, sir.
the
Dr. Beckett, always
industry
a pleasure.
summit.
Another 498 people will be there. Yeah, I think.
That's crazy how many people are coming.
I think
That's going to be nuts. I'm looking forward to it, though. Should be fun.
should be fun.
I had one other question here. The 89 Billy Ripken Fleer, is that on the Beckett wall?
Anybody that knows me knows enough that would not be
No chance.
any chance.
All right. Okay. I don't know what's going on. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us in the chat today, and of course the amazing guests here, guys. I appreciate you joining us or joining me, I guess, today to talk cards and reminisce some, and looking forward to future here in the hobby. So, I guess with that, I guess. Anybody wants Tracy? Where can folks find you if they want to chat with you?
It's on his. You already see it behind him. You could just look.
Well, give it an opportunity to talk, Brody. You'll get your chance to talk too. So, but maybe not now. I don't know.
Hit us up. Roadshow Cards on social. You can find me in probably a local penitentiary somewhere, getting 3 squares a day.
Yeah, the $1, $5, or $10 boxes.
Exactly right.
That's where Dr. Beckett's going to be.
I got to get over there, Tracy. I agree.
You have an open invitation, Dr. Beckett.
Hey Val, thanks for doing the engineering and the switchboarding and all that stuff. I don't know that it's a thankless task because I'm thanking you right now.
well, thank you for thanking me. Yeah, I like I said, trying to juggle everything at one time. But I got old eyes too, trying to read stuff. But Logan, Brody, or
Well, I'll let you go first, Logan.
Okay. You can find Val and Jason and I on NASCAR Radio. New episodes drop every Friday or late Thursday night. So you can catch us there.
All right. And on Twitter at BrodyTK and Instagram at BrodyTheKid1. Hobby Life Show. I haven't done one in a little bit. We're on the road. It's going to be coming back soon. I'm excited for it. And please, I don't pray good vibes, or if you just don't want me to lose my head, pray that the Raiders win tomorrow and that they don't blow a 23-7 lead and Kyler Murray can't sit in the pocket for 25 seconds and somehow get in the end zone, because especially with Tracy on the show, that would just not be.
Brody, I pray for a lot of stuff.
Tannehill
I'm
beats
not praying
me.
for that.
If Ryan Tannehill beats me, man.
Ooh, ouch.
And then I'm your pal Val, and you can find me on NASCAR Radio and at NASCAR Radio on Twitter. So again, thank you everybody. Hope Brian, you got to watch the show. So all right, we're out here.
Thanks, Val.